Have you heard of a Dutch baby? Well, it's a pancake that's actually cooked in the oven. And what's so special about it is it puffs up in the oven and almost looks like a Yorkshire pudding. I love them. You can serve them sweet. In actual fact, it's most common to see them in a sweet context, but I'm going to make a savoury version. Absolutely delicious. So cheese of choice for my savoury Dutch baby is parmesan cheese, and I'm going to freshly grate the parmesan cheese into a bowl. We want a big handful of cheese. I'm also going to reserve the rest of this for a garnish later on. And of course, you can change up the cheese. It works really well with a pecorino cheese. Also, cheddar works a treat too, even Gruyere cheese. So into this, I'll add some mustard, about a teaspoon or so, and some eggs. So we'll need 3 eggs for this. So essentially this is a pancake batter. So no leavening agent whatsoever. We're using a plain flour, eggs and milk. That's the base of our Dutch baby. So 3 eggs. And before I start adding the milk to the wet ingredients, I just want to combine this to really dissolve that mustard into the eggs and that cheese. I'll also add a pinch of salt at this stage and some freshly cracked pepper. Okay. And now that that's combined nicely, we can incorporate our milk. Okay, and that's the wet ingredients done. Now, I should mention it's a really good idea to preheat your oven. So your oven needs to be quite hot, 210, because as soon as this is made, you want to get that in the oven as soon as possible. So for the dry ingredients, just some plain flour. And this lifts purely because of the eggs that we're using in here and that hot oven. So I've just got a half cup measure here. So 2 of those, 1 cup. Perfect. And now we can start incorporating our wet ingredients. So make a well in the centre and then just slowly add our wet ingredients a little at a time so we don't get any lumps, and then just keep incorporating that. Okay. Now this is the base, so you can absolutely transform this recipe. Instead of adding the mustard and the cheese, you could add some sugar to this, you could add some cinnamon, bits of apple to make it into a sweet Dutch baby. Okay, my savoury batter is ready to go. I've been preheating a pan. Now my pan is a 24 centimetre non-stick pan. It's also oven safe. Super important to use a pan that's oven safe because we want to take it straight from the stovetop to the oven and then to the table. I'll add a tiny splash of oil and then a good amount of butter. We want that butter to bubble up before we start adding our batter. So just melt that in there. We'll get it nice and foamy and really coat all of that pan with our butter, because we want it to go lovely and golden as it cooks in the oven. So when this comes out of the oven, it's almost going to look like a Yorkshire pudding. It will puff up. And of course, whatever goes up must come down. So it's one of those things, almost like a souffle. You want to eat it straight away when it comes out of the oven. All right, so pretty happy with that. And it does need to be hot because we do want to seal the pancake before it goes into the oven. So in with our batter. You can see the consistency exactly like a pancake batter. Happy with that. I'm also going to add another sprinkling of cheese to give it a lovely crust. Excellent. Now this goes into that hot oven, 210, for about 25 minutes or until it's golden brown and puffed up. Whoa, look at that. See how that's puffed up? It's just right, and I love the smell of that parmesan cheese. Now, a Dutch baby is served in the actual pan that you've cooked it in. So I'm gonna leave it in there and then we can dress it. So I love the addition of some ricotta, really showing off the savouriness of it. And I'm just gonna put lots of just piles of the ricotta around it. So when you do serve it, you get a big scoop of the Dutch baby, some ricotta, prosciutto, and we'll just drape the prosciutto in and around the dish. Of course, you can make this vegetarian. Some roasted pumpkin with this would be absolutely delicious. I've got some sun-dried tomatoes, pop them on top. I have a combination of herbs here, some dill, some basil, and some parsley, a small drizzle of oil and some salt. Just dress it like a little salad. pop that over the top too, just making it look quite pretty. I'm getting quite excited about this, so I keep adding some extra things. The last little ingredient, a flourish of Parmesan cheese. There you go. What a pancake. Dutch baby, fantastic the original way, just with a little bit of cinnamon and maple syrup and some berries. But if you want to make it into a savoury pancake, it works just as well. This on a Sunday morning for brunch, absolutely perfect.